Hey, I'm dude.
You didn't sound sure about that. that would make me
It's just
tick.
so weird when we're here together, just by ourselves. Hi, I'm dude.
Well, that's why the intro is.
Yeah.
Chicken dude.
Yeah.
Matt and Buffy Payne are a couple driven by purpose through their nonprofit Outer Circle Foundation and faith-based organizations like Few and Dudes. Their mission is clear: to spark positive change, empower others, and build a better world, one connection at a time. She is Chick. He is Dude. Welcome to the Chicken Dude Stuff podcast.
Let's talk about Outer Circle.
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about 24. What was your favorite thing?
Ooh. Have to be the golf outing.
The golf outing?
Yeah.
What was
The
your favorite?
beginning of the golf outing
Yeah.
with Kaylee and the bagpiper and set the stage.
Gotcha.
What about for you?
I enjoyed the end of the golf outing.
Well, that's a given.
I think I enjoyed all of our stuff. Like, I don't know that I had one favorite. Like, those are the events, right? Those are the moments where we bring our people together, right? Help us raise awareness, help us raise money. You know, I think back of like Hometown Heroes was great. Hearts for Heroes was great. Golf event. Every chance we got to stand up and talk about Outer Circle, standing up at the women's breakfast in Paulding County and with Monica Kaufman and getting to talk about Outer Circle. I think all of them were uniquely different.
It's so funny because like Dematic and Kettering and New York City, all of those were things as well, but they just kind of get so suppressed by everything else that was so much bigger.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I imagine if we kept a list of all the times and ways we spend talking about Outer Circle, it's a lot more than we realize.
Oh, absolutely. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was your biggest challenge for 24?
Needing more time in the day. Like in 24, we picked up by far more volunteers, right? We had more people coming alongside us, wanting to help, wanting to volunteer, wanting to be involved, which was great. We brought on the entire marketing team. We obtained a CRM, right? We had all of that through Todd Masters and his group. All of that came along. So that helped immensely, right? You and I could not have kept up with the social media that they started spinning for us.
Yeah.
But for me, I always want more time. I always want to do more. I always want to talk to one more company, ask for one more donation, ask for one more thing to raffle off or whatever. Just one more way to engage people about who Outer Circle is, what we do, and how their donation of time, money, or resources can help change a veteran or first responder's life.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you?
I think mine was more frustration than anything else.
Yeah, how so?
When we were dealing with our veteran that had the medical issues and it took weeks to find somebody
To help.
that could help. But then who we found was fantastic. And I mean, he's thriving now and, doing everything. But it's that whole piece of not being able to help just because they didn't fit a certain checkbox was super, super frustrating to me.
Yeah, I think that demonstrates a gap that we know is in the industry for our veterans and likely even for our first responders, that when they come to a nonprofit for services, a nonprofit only can help within what their mission is.
Yeah.
But there's no partnerships between nonprofits where if someone came to us and needed help with PTSD and then they needed a new car, we don't know a nonprofit today that would say, oh, we will help you with finding financing or this or that or anything like that, right? And so it's really part of that, what we talk about for 25 is creating that sphere for nonprofits that puts everybody in their lane and creates a partnership for all of them.
Yeah. And it's like I could get somebody if they were a combat controller.
Sure.
Right? First there, Combat Control Foundation, whatever. But again, it's super narrow.
It is.
Because of their mission.
Yep.
Right? What they're doing.
Exactly.
But yeah. And then, the comedian Brian Moore, who is now part of the family.
Yeah.
From Ames. So that brings a whole other level into the mix of things by having those guys with us.
Yeah. I know it would be great when we get to announce that partnership, which it should be pretty soon.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, just so much work there and programs and continued programs and, just different ways we can do things and hopefully bring value to them as much as they're bringing value to us.
I'm sure we will.
That's the crux in my mind.
Yeah.
Right. Is making sure of that.
Yeah. When I look at Brian Moore and the Ames Center and their skills and their knowledge, they wouldn't be seeking us as a partner if they didn't believe there was already value there. Yeah. And we would not be agreeing to the partnership if we didn't also see the value. So
there's value.
There's a match there for sure. I think one of our challenges in 25 is as we're bringing up programs and partnerships and events, which we'll talk about our events of 2025 in just a minute. How do we scale? It's you and me. And we have Julie and we have volunteers, but I think we're going to need double, if not triple, the volunteers this year to be able to support everything that we're on the pathway to do.
So I think that's going to be the chamber, right? Paulding and Bartow, or Paulding and Cartersville and Cobb. It will be social media posts. It will be us talking. It will be just reaching out to the network and, making sure that and now that we have the whole volunteer portion built out, right, for collection of information and making sure those that want to volunteer, we can go back and make sure that we, have them.
Right.
Then that's going to make things much easier than it was with the old spreadsheet or, pieces of paper or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's a lot coming in 25.
Well, we're in 25. We're already halfway through the first month.
I know.
It's crazy.
As Brian said, can't believe it's a year already.
I know. So what all do you have planned for 25 for Outer Circle?
So the super exciting thing is REBOOT.
Okay.
Mark got his account set up today, so he's up and running. We've gone back and forth with the REBOOT team, making sure that...
Talk a little bit about what REBOOT is.
I will.
Okay.
REBOOT is a peer-led group that is a 12-week program that is based on biblical principles, and we tackle a new topic every week. And topics can be anything from survivor's guilt to grief and remorse to sleep to any number of different things. The program that we are going to roll out in Q1 this year is going to be slated for first responders. And then we will do the course slated for veterans later on this year.
In Q3.
Or Q4, depending on whatever works. Yeah. But it's been around since 2008, I believe. It started in Fort Campbell. with the there was a special forces group that was there. The 101st was there, and the people who developed it just saw a need, and it started in their living room, and then the word got out, and they were invited onto the base. And now they're in multiple countries. They're all over the place. The beauty of the program is I showed it to Brian, and Brian had a call with the founder and came back and was like, "It's a good program, well founded and everything." And the thing that I love about it, it's built on biblical principles, right? That I think is crucial to the aspect of helping deal with the struggles that we deal with day in and day out.
Yeah.
So
good.
Yeah. So that's the biggest for me. That's the biggest program to reach our people.
Yeah, sure.
But you can talk about the Gala.
Yeah. So May 2nd, we'll be hosting our very first gala at Indigo Falls in Dallas, Georgia. It's a beautiful location. And the gala will be black tie, so you wear your tuxedo. All the ladies have to get their gowns, but it'll be a lovely evening. Great food and drinks, a dancing, a wine pool, and some great stuff at a silent auction.
So explain that wine pool.
No, I'm not going to tell everybody the secret to the wine pool. So,
because I'd never heard of it before.
So a wine pool, if you don't know what a wine pool is, we will take donations of wine from whoever wants to provide wine, and every bottle of wine will be wrapped in black tissue paper so nobody can see the type of wine it is. All the wine will be set up on a table and displayed.
To include the top, so you can't even look at the top.
Correct.
And determine.
Correct.
Vineyard.
It will be displayed on the table, and as folks enter the gala for the evening, they'll be afforded an opportunity to purchase a wine pool ticket and draw a number. And based off what number they receive will be their turn to go and pick a bottle of wine. And at some point during the evening, after dinner and desserts, we will have our MC start with number one, and that person will get the first pick of a bottle of wine, and we'll continue until all the wine is gone or until all the tickets are sold. And so you don't know what you're going to get, but we know that there'll be some really, really nice wine in that, and there'll probably be some stuff that
is good, but it's just not as expensive.
Right. But you might have got it at the grocery store on the way because you remembered you were supposed to bring it. But that's okay. It'll be a fun event, and everybody should have a good time.
And where is it?
At Indigo Falls.
And explain Indigo Falls.
Well, we did.
Explain what it is.
So Indigo Falls is a beautiful campus. It's very much in the woods with a lake. They've inserted buildings and accommodations into the natural landscape of this campus. So there's the opportunity for events like what we're going to do, trainings. They have a church on the property. They're typically very highly utilized for weddings. But they were recently purchased by a new family that wants to really use it for more items. And so we were granted the opportunity to come and use their location for the gala on May the 2nd.
I will say Indigo Falls is beautiful. At least that we know of right now, 2 locations, one that sleeps like 18 and one that sleeps 10 or something like that.
It's more than that.
Is it? But
yeah.
They're big, beautiful facilities. And they have a church on the site, and it's just such a great area. It is going to be a really, really fun night for sure. Mm-hmm. And we got a couple of pretty cool things in store as well.
Mm-hmm. What other events this year? Are you going to do a golf tournament or a golf outing?
So we are definitely doing the golf outing in October at Bears Best. Date yet to be determined because they haven't got back to us yet with when that'll be. But normally it's the first week or two of October. So we will definitely be back at Bears Best. We are exploring the option of doing a outing on this side of town in the spring. So
more to come on that.
More to come on that. Yeah, it's based on venue and timing, and can somebody accommodate us, and can we make that happen with the gala and everything else that we have going on.
It's back to that whole thing of scaling.
Correct.
Yeah.
I know Hearts for Heroes will happen. Paulding announced that today.
November 3rd.
So what we will be there, in what capacity, we'll see. But had such a great time there this year. And then I am sure that we will be doing a variety of other things with people as the year unfolds. So
excellent.
Yeah. But so why don't you go through our 4 big pillars for 24?
I don't know what our 4 big pillars are.
They do. Our 4 goals that we're looking to do.
Well, that's a little different.
Yeah. That's our 4 big pillars.
I don't have any of that with me.
So reboot.
Yeah.
Gala. Reboot.
Okay.
In spring.
Golf.
Golf outing.
Yeah.
And my goal.
But those were the that's events in a program.
Yeah. I mean, the goal for me is, one, I definitely want to find that corporate sponsor that will walk along beside of us and really likes what Ames is doing, what we're doing, the impact that we're having, and kind of the overall mission that we have and how we are tackling that mission.
Right. So we need to grow in visibility, right? We need to grow in sponsorships, right? So donations, so corporate sponsors, multiple things like that, generating more awareness of who we are to the general community so that people would consider donations to us, and then grow in our volunteer hours.
Yep.
And
the other, Brian and I have talked at length about this, and I'm going to find a way. It's a little bit, it's going to be harder than I initially anticipated, but we are going to find our way into police academies to get in front of the recruits and build that, break the stigma, right? Mental health is mental health, and your careers, the longevity of your career, part of it is going to be, how do you handle those traumatic calls?
Well, maybe part of that's going to be launching Reboot for first responders, right? Maybe you invite someone from the academy to attend the first class.
The problem with Georgia is there's 480 academies and they all do their own thing.
I understand.
So,
but you have to start with one.
The police chief in Hiram is who I need to sit down with, and he had mentioned going to that conference in Savannah or wherever it is, the Sheriff's Association, and going and being there. But the good stuff of the potential with the mental health committee and Paulding and Douglasville and where that goes, and then
and connecting back with Chuck Payne at the Capitol, right?
At the Capitol
he's extended the invite for us to come down and meet with him.
Yep.
So we just need to.
And Patricia Ross still at Georgia Department of Veteran Services, and all of those that are fighting their fight, right? And I use that term not in fighting the fight, but I mean helping the veterans and being in the trenches and doing all of the things that they do to try to make on the veteran side their lives better and easier.
Yeah, provide them the resources that they should have been able to easily obtain.
Yeah. I mean, I'm dealing with it now with a guy who hasn't been paid he's owed $20,000 in back pay. And everybody just points a finger at somebody else. Oh, you got to call them. Oh, it's not us. You got to call them. Oh, no, they told me to call you. No, it's these guys over here. Come on. You know, we got to do better at that.
And if there's one case that we're aware of, there's a dozen more that we're unaware of.
Yep. So, you know, and the last, the recourse you have is to go to your senator and have them do a congressional inquiry and all that. And that just takes time. And in the meantime, your person has no money.
Right. Well, I wonder how many veterans would know that that's what they need to do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure that that's not on a form when they're told no or something's denied. If there's no avenue to say, well, this is what you can do. They're just told no and turned away. And that's the struggle, right? Is when they're rightfully owed something, how do they get to the right person to help them?
Yeah. And that's always the crux of everything, is just getting to the right person. Just that person who can help.
Yeah.
But 25 is going to be, it's going to be a good year. It will afford us the opportunity to utilize and get trained in the AIMS programs and be able to present those, bring REBOOT, and then build some other of our own and things. I still go back to the family and the spouse
and
and the resources.
We'll work on this.
And capabilities there.
There's two of us. We have to scale this.
Well, there's not two of us. Now we have the AIMS team that's here as well. So from a clinical standpoint.
Right.
So
how can people learn more?
www.outercirclefoundation.org.
Only you. Only you.
We are, outercirclefoundation.org is the website. Ton of resources there. You'll see all of our events. There's a interest for the gala is there, so you can submit information if you want the latest and greatest updated stuff that comes out. The last page, there's resources, there's links to documents and other things. Facebook, we're Outer Circle Foundation. LinkedIn, we're Outer Circle Foundation. And then Instagram, we're Outer Circle 501c, I think.
But I think our social media is on our website. So if they get to it, if you locate the website, you can find our social.
Yep. And if you're out there struggling and you need help, my cell phone's on the website.
Call or text anytime.
Yep. Call or text anytime. There's a form you can submit if you need some services, but you're not in crisis and you just want us to reach out. Either way. But it's Matt at outercirclefoundation.org and Buffy at outercirclefoundation.org. Super easy email addresses, Matt and Buffy. Should have been Chicken Dude, but I guess we didn't do that.
That's a whole
hey, you started the whole thing.
That's a whole nother discussion. That's a whole nother discussion.
You started the whole thing.
All right. Well, thanks for watching.
Yep. We will see you soon. Adios.
Bye.